Welcome to another edition of the Fatu Network News Review today, Monday, 23rd July 2018. I am Omar Wali. In the headlines today, the Standard newspaper, mosques are not priority, GDC tells Barrow. Firemen want government to investigate fire service. GFF Silla camp react to disqualification, and UDP's Jadama counters Hamad Ba. The Standard newspaper is reporting that the Karamo Jadama, the regional chairman of the United Democratic Party in the North Bank region, has reacted to remarks made by Hamad Ba of the National Reconciliation Party, who is also the Minister of Tourism and Culture, during President Barrow's Meet the People's tour. While addressing the meeting in Nyomi and in Badibu, Hamad Ba reportedly said that no single tribe should make themselves as the main majority tribe owns the country. You may remember Hamad Ba during the tour had made remarks that did not go down well with majority of the people, saying that no single tribes will claim ownership of the country. That's what the UDP regional chairman reacted during the President Barrow's tour. And the firemen also want government to investigate fire service. The officers of numbers of fire personnel of the Gambia Fire and Rescue Service who prefer to remain anonymous told the Standard newspaper that told the Standard newspaper that the authorities should investigate the growing dissatisfaction in the Gambia Fire and Rescue Service. You may remember that the Fire and Rescue Service public relations officer was moved, and they're also demanding for him to be reinstated, as well as the financial, some of the issues going on at the Fire and Rescue Service. They said they don't want to be indisciplined, but they want their risk allowance to be looked into, and many other things as well. Mosques are not the priorities. The youth leader of the Gambia Democratic Congress, MC Cham, has told the Standard that President Barrow, has told President Barrow that mosques are not the priorities as of now. President Barrow, during the meeting, SL said he's going to build 60 mosques every year. Yes, the plans are in place to build 60 mosques every year in the country, in a majority Muslim country. But non-Muslims, as well as other people, also said we have other things to fix, such as the poor roads, school educational system, as well as the health sector. The Point newspaper is reporting that Amadou Sama says Mandina Ring Alcalo cannot be satisfied with money. He said the business tycoon Amadou Samba also told the Janneh Commission that the Alcalo of Mandinaring village cannot be satisfied. The Barrow declares no one is above the law. President Barrow said that during the tour, said nobody, the ministers or any other person, is above the law in this country. Also, National Environment Agency warns against dumping domestic waste in runoffs. That is, the National Environment Agency has warned against the dumping of waste in runoff waters, pointing out that those found wanting will face consequences. These are moments where the country faces difficulties, where the drainage system don't flow well. The Daily News is reporting that the MP alleges youth on undetected corruption. That is, there are a lot of undetected corruptions going on with the system, and unless such corruption practices are stopped, there is no way that we can develop a nation. That's by Honorable Alaji S. Dabo during an exclusive interview with the Daily News. And more witnesses also testified before the Faraba Commission. A commission was set up to look into the Faraba incident, which was launched and is currently being held in Banjul. Bankers before the Janneh Commission. The Daily News also is reporting that 2 bankers recently appeared before the Janneh Commission to shed light on the transfer of over $3 million made by their banks to TK Exports and in Dubai, based on the instruction of Mobisi Company. The Foria also is reporting that at the Faraba Banta Commission, more witnesses testify, like in the Daily News. Hajj Commission chairman explains the increment on the Hajj package, and the government should consider the rights of the disabled. Mr. Lamin Sise said that. Lamin Sise, who is a staff of the Gambia Association of the Deaf and the Hard of Hearing, said the government should consider the rights of the disabled in order to help them find their rightful place in society. Most of the time they complain about story buildings and so many other things that it's difficult for them to get employment, and when they get employment at times, it's difficult for them to go through the challenges of climbing or going through story buildings. Gambia remains target for drug trafficking. The National Drug Enforcement Agency is saying that in 2010, tons were seized in Bonto, and they're saying still now Gambia remains a target for drug cartels from the Latin America. Tangara met Sall, that is the Gambia's Foreign Affairs Minister. Mamadou Tangara has met the Senegalese President Macky Sall recently. And finally, the immigration whistleblower challenges dismissal. Mr. Omar T. Kamara, who will allow his July 3rd dismissal from the Gambia Immigration Department go uncontested. He is the one who is said to have blown the whistle, but he has been dismissed. But I will try to talk to the public relations officer of the Gambia Immigration Department. But our crew went there, but he said he doesn't want to do the interview in front of a camera. National Disaster Management Agency calls for the institutional framework for disaster mitigation. This is a time where the country faces a lot of disaster, from floodings and so many other things. So I will also be talking to Mamadou Kante. He's a pastor, regarding the pronouncement made by President Barrow that he is going to build 60 mosques in the country. I tried to get an ustaz or an imam, but proved futile. But in the studios here, I'm here with Pastor Mamadou Kante. Mr. Kante, welcome.
Thank you very much, Umar. Thank you for having me.
President Barrow said he's going to build 60 mosques every year. Yeah. So what do you make of that?
Well, to me, as a Christian, I think, yes, politically, it is a wrong move. Religiously, it's a good move, but politically, it's a wrong move.
When you say politically, it is a wrong move, but religiously, it is a good move. Can you enlighten us on that?
Well, when I say politically, it's a wrong move, it's because Gambia is not only 100%.
Majority Muslim.
It's not 100% Muslims.
Okay.
So we have a lot of Muslims in this nation, but then there are also other religions. Like we have Christians, we have people who believe in African traditions, and so on. So therefore, as a president, it should have been you do something that everybody will benefit. Yeah, but basically saying that you building a mosque, 60 mosques. So it means, are you going to build 60 churches too, or traditional worship places?
So now let's say Barrow said, okay, 60 mosques, yeah, and you're having another 10 churches.
No, even at that, it's still, if he should say it, 60 churches, 60 mosques, one can understand. But the moment he talk about building 60 mosques, really, to me, I think it's a wrong move. Yes, I know religiously, most are places where people worship. That's good. But then I think the best thing would have been not to come at in a platform, a political platform, and talk about building mosques. He could have just said, okay, do it secretly. Okay, this particular village need a mosque, and send elders there, or probably channel it through the Islamic Council, Supreme Islamic Council, to go and build. But for him politically, coming at a political platform and saying that, I think that is politically wrong.
So put quite simply, you are saying you people have been left out in Barrow's, or in this package that Barrow want to give it to the Muslim majority?
Yes, basically I think Barrow ignore the Christian community. Because if he also should have said, okay, I'm going to build this number of mosques, I'm going to build this number of churches, that would have been fine. But then for him, Joyce talking about only building mosques, Umar, that's a wrong move. And for us as Christians, we felt that we are left behind. And one thing I want to say here, Barrow's government, in terms of religious issue, it seems his government is just following the Jammeh trend.
Well, following Jammeh's trend, I'm not cutting you, sir, because if you remember in Zambia in 1990, President Chaluba declared Zambia a Christian nation. And in December 2015, Jammeh did the similar thing here and said Gambia is an Islamic state. But when Barrow took over, it's reverted to the secular state as we know it, even though Jammeh said Christian will be free to worship freely. But is it not unfair to say he's following the footsteps of Barrow?
No, why I said he's following the footsteps of President Jammeh. Jammeh and the APRC government banned church registration at the Justice Department. And myself, I am affected because I wanted, on behalf of our church members, I was tasked to register our church because our church is basically under mission. So we wanted to separate mission and the church, and that's why we wanted to register the church separately. But during Jammeh's time, I have tried on several occasions and I wrote to State House. But politically, they would tell me, no, go to the Aegis Chambers. I will go to the Aegis Chamber. In fact, one time, Mr. Ture at the Aegis Chamber saw me a letter. He said, my brother, for me, I am a civil servant. I work based on what directive from government. There is a ban here on registration of churches. So when Barrow came, the new government, new dispensation came in, I went back there. And the same thing. I went there and I was told that the same thing, the Barrow government never lifted that ban. And in fact, I wrote on 2 occasions to State House to ask them to lift that ban. They never lifted it up. Until today, they never replied to 2 letters I wrote to State House. So automatically, it means Barrow is just watering what Jammeh was sowing in the Gambia.
So even though the so-called Islamic State is no more there, but the ban on registering churches.
Yeah, it's still there.
But another complaint among many is that people always come and set up churches to make make as a money-making venture. Is it not also another means that why they are denying you? Or
yes, that's true. But then government should always have a mechanism in place. A mechanism in place to stop all those kind of things. Now, but then the mere fact that the government banned church registration, that's a bad move. Yes, we are not saying you should not control, government should not control. Government should control because they are in charge. They can control. But then the mere fact that they have decided to maintain the ban that was put there by Jammeh's government still now, it means actually there is no freedom of worship in this country. Barrow is just following Jammeh's footsteps in terms of religious biasness.
So when you say there is no freedom of, what exactly do you mean by that?
Yeah, when you talk about freedom of worship and freedom of religion, it's all as I stated. Is allowing people to register. If people, for us as Gambians, like for our church, you don't find a foreigner there. We are all Gambians. But we cannot register because the government banned it. So it means for us as Gambians, it means we are not free to practice our religion that we believed.
Well, viewers, that is Momodu Kante. He's a pastor at Presbyterian's Church, right? I'm here with him discussing about the promise or the pronouncement made by President Adama Barrow that he is going to build 60 mosques every year in a predominantly Muslim country. It has triggered a debate not only among the Christians but even Muslims community or Muslims themselves. They said the country has other things to deal with. We have the poor road networks, health sector, the education system. However, our reporters Fatou Sane and Jagasise Jaite today went out and about in the capital Banjul and spoke to people about and asked them about their opinions regarding the building of the churches, the mosque rather.
Anyway, as for me, I think that, there are some other infrastructure which he would have built and all Gambians can benefit out of it. Because here is a secular state and we have so many religions within the country.
Barrow has to focus on creating jobs for young people. It's good that people have a focus on God, but at the end of the day, people also have to have the right education to be able to understand, to worship God very well. I've always criticized some of the aid that our country receives from some of these Muslim countries, because I believe that they focus entirely on building places of worship, but unfortunately they don't deal with the economic issues that people face. Now, if you go to worship your God and your stomach is empty, I mean, you cannot focus on worshiping God, and focus and attention are important aspects of worshiping. So we need to see the same direction, the same focus on creating the jobs, on making sure that people have education to be able to understand their religious obligations. So this is my own focus on the issue. This is what I think.
Waaw baax na waaye dama gis ne loolu ne ko priorité parce que bañu lu mel ni yow sax yaa ma ko gën a gis am na loo xam ne moo jiitu tabax ay juma donte ay juma am na fii ba pare mais mu jublu si bañu ci capital bi liggéey boobu moo jiitu yaakaar naa ko muy def waa def leneen noonu la laa gisugum soo xam ne daal mooy priorité si dëkk bi waaw toppatoo tali yi yàqu-yàqu yi nekk am si biir capital ba pare lu muy def mu soog ko def loolu mooy priorité bi daal si man.
Those are the voices from the streets of Banjul. They are divergent views. Some said, yes, it's a good idea, but others are insisting that Gambians have other issues to deal with. Still with me in the studio is Modu Kante, who is a pastor from the Presbyterian Church. Mr. Kante, some said, well, it is a good idea, but others also said it is a bad idea. Now, as a Christian, you said, well, Gambia is supposed to be 60-60. But where would that put non-believers as well? Because he said 60, Christians complain. If Barrow come again and said 60 churches, you also talk about those worshipping African tradition.
ADR people. Thank you very much, Umar. Basically, that is why I said it's a wrong political move. As a leader, as a president, such like in the Gambia or any country around the world, except probably other in the Middle East where you have almost 100% Muslim in a country, you should not put yourself in religious shoes. Gambians, we have to be very much careful with politicians coming with religion. You see, we had the same issues with the former president. Carrying big prayer beads, carrying allegedly being a Quran or so on, putting on big haftans. And when he talked, people said, hey, Muslim Balti, ki Muslim la. Something like that. And he will start to give, when there is occasions, he will give something to, when it is Korite time, he will give something to the Supreme Islamic Council. When it is Christmas time, he will give something to the Christian Council. And all this religious body, they were kind of not seeing what he was doing wrong. Because basically this man is every time will give them something. And they are assuming that this man is a good Muslim. Yes. But then look at what is happening now when he left. Look at what we are seeing. So that is why for me, I think there is high priority should be put on development. Because for mosque or church, there are other countries where people they have only one mosque. This mosque, Christian use it, Muslim use it. It's happening around the world. And no God will tell you if you pray under a mango tree, it will not answer your prayer. But then for the electricity, you cannot have the electricity in your room in Kanifing. I will tell you, okay, if you have light today, tomorrow I am living in Banjul or I'm living in Brikama, I will take your electricity. Likewise, roads need to be built. All those things talk about development. And Christian will use it, Muslim will use it, and animists will use it. Everybody will use it. Even our monkeys will use it. So it benefits every individual.
Well, I will come back to you. That is Pastor Momodu Kante of Presbyterian Church. We are discussing about the mosque President Barrow said is going to build 60 mosques in the country. But also, we will have a short break, and we'll bring a viewers queue with Mariam Sise. And when we come back, we will continue with the conversation. Sure.
Get 1 gigabyte for free just by replacing your SIM card at any Africell outlet with no loss of contact. The cost of bundle from the 3G SIM card is the same for the 4G SIM. And guess what? With the 4G SIM card, you can also connect to the 3G network as well.
This is so cool. I'll replace my 3G SIM card right away to the real 4G SIM and receive my very own 1 gigabyte for free.
From Africell, it's always real and it's for free.
Where Africell goes, no one has the speed to follow.
Hello lovely viewers, welcome back to Viewers Deep with Mariam Cisse. Earlier on today on Facebook, State House of the Gambia posted and they said, better days ahead, President Adama Barrow ensures URR, Bansang CRR, His Excellency President Adama Barrow has given assurance to the people of his home region, Upper River region, that better days must come, stating that he would deliver on his campaign promise to transform lives and the landscape of the region. Full story is on Facebook for more information. On the other hand, on Twitter, Hot Ink Media posted and they said, a happy birthday to Banky Gray Johnson, founder, director, and father of Hot Ink Media. Thank you for providing the corporate need not be boring and the passion can pay the bills. On the other hand, Answer also tweeted and he said, retweeting Aziz Gay, well done at Aziz Gay for cleaning the streets of #Banjul. Only us can make our dwelling a healthy place to live in. Time newspaper also posted and they said, President Donald Trump says Carter Page document provide FBI mislead FISA courts. Lawmakers are disagreeing. Thank you very much for watching. This is Viewers Deep with Mariam Cisse, and don't forget to like us on Facebook with the same title. And if you have any questions to ask, please don't hesitate. Thank you very much for watching. Until we meet again, this is Viewers Deep with Mariam Cisse.
Get 1 gigabyte for free.
Mariam Cisse there. I am Omar Wali and I'm here with Pastor Kante. We are discussing President Barrow said he's going to build 60 mosques. So, Mr. Kante, I've been here for some time now. So, looking at the situation, how will you compare a religious freedom under Barrow and Jammeh?
Well, I think to me, for now, it's the same, 50-50.
How?
Yeah, basically, I will repeat again. Jammeh has put a ban on church registration, and Barrow came and maintained the same thing. So, it's the same. So, I think it's just normal. For the religious freedom, it's just like Barrow, like Judge Jammeh. So, there is nothing changed on that.
But what will you say to people who will tell you that yes, but Jammeh declared Islamic, like I said earlier, he lifted that ban, and now, what is the laws are in place, like the journalists are complaining, we have media laws in place and everybody's working towards amending those things.
Yeah, you know, Umar, when President Barrow was encircled at the Kairaba Beach Hotel, we were there as young pastors of the Gambia, and he assured us at the time that Gambia belonged to everybody. And he said there is nothing like Islamic State. You know, but then what we are seeing now, when he actually got to Banjul, to the other side of the area, when he came from the Kairaba where he was in Shakul all along. Now, he is just mere saying it, he has removed the Islamic State. And you go to walk this way to this way, Tanje. Go to Tanje. You will still see the signboard, Islamic Republic of the Gambia. You will still see a signboard along Tanje, Sanyang, the Coastal Road Highway. You will see still those signboards. So for me, it's just a mere propaganda. For him saying that he is no more a secular, is no more a Islamic State, but a secular state. Because as long as that ban is still at the Aegis Chamber, he did never go make a pronouncement on that. It's the same thing. He and Jammeh is just 6 and 9. 6 and 9 in terms of religious tolerance. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Kante. That is Pastor Momolu Kante of the Presbyterian Church. We discuss in the churches that the mosque, I'm talking about churches, I don't know why the mosque, President Barrow promised to build 60 every year. So viewers, that's what we have for you today, and with me and my crew, we thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.